Hi, it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns. Thank you for joining me today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, and I'm coming on today to show you how I make a set of cards. We're all making Christmas cards at the moment, so I thought I would come on and show you a way of bulk stamping and getting 4 cards out of a sheet of A4. Here are some cards that I actually started with. I'm using the Snowflake Wishes stamp set, and this is the first sort of set that I made, which is kind of my prototype. But for this one I'm just going to use some slightly different colorways and make it a little bit simpler. So I've got balmy blue, pretty peacock and basic grey. I'll just run through the other bits that I've got. So I've got 2 sheets of A4. One is going to be for panels for the outside, and I've already cut up some layers for the inside, and this measures 10.2 centimeters by 14.5 centimeters. So you get 4 of those out of a sheet of A4. And then I've got 2 sheets of basic grey cardstock, which I have cut into 2 bases. So I have scored at 10.5 and then the A4 sheet down at 15.8. So you get 2 card bases. I always score first and then cut. So I've got 4 card bases. So I cut in advance using the Tasteful Labels dies, which are absolutely beautiful. They do stitched edges and also they emboss a ridge. So I have done 4 labels using the Pretty Peacock, and there's a little emboss edge round that, and then I've cut 4 of these. Now for these ones I actually cut out a little panel, and you can see it leaves a little stitched edge around the aperture. So I'm going to use those. I've got 4 of those, and I'm going to use those on some other projects, so you don't need to waste that extra bit. Now there will be links below to my online store, and all of the products that I'm demonstrating today you will be able to purchase. So we've got the 3 colours, and I've already mounted the stamps that I'm using on the blocks. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp this before I cut it up. I've got copy paper just to the side so that I can do some stamping off. So I'm going to start with my largest image, and I think that's going to be too bright. Stamp once, and then I'm actually going to go over the top a second time, and I love the way that looks. So I'm going to be stamp off. And I'm just trying to think a little bit about where I'm going to trim this in so that I can get a little bit of each colour in each of the bits. That makes sense, does or not? Fabulous. And now the next image, I think I'm going to do balmy blue. I'm going to do that full strength. But again, that amazingly looks very similar in colour, doesn't it? Because I stamped off. It just shows how well our colours coordinate. They're absolutely stunning. There, I think I want to do one there. Perfect. And then come down again, and this is the basic grey, and stamp off again. I'm not worrying about going over any of the other images. Hopefully this is still in shot. And you can just eyeball it, I think. That needs something there. Oh, I reckon not that one though. I'm going to come back in with the little flurries and make that there. I'm going to do that. Quite like that full strength. Right, see, that's the trouble. That's a grey one. Oh dear. Do we care about that one? Okay. And then I'm coming in with the final flurry. And fill in any gaps. Perfect. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the pretty peacock. There. I'm gonna wait for the inside sentiment and probably some of the little stamps, but I'm gonna wait to see which way I want to orient the card, if that makes sense. I'm gonna bring in my trimmer and my sheet of A4. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it into quarters straight away. Which is 15.8 and 10.5. But I actually want to trim a little bit off each of those panels. So I'm going to decide where I'm going to trim them. So I want that to come down to 14.5 and 10.2. So you can see the tiniest sliver. Absolutely lashing down outside. suppose I could have trimmed this down before I'd started stamping. Didn't really. I'm going to trim off that and that. Those away. So we need to decide which way we're going to have them. Because I'm thinking about post, I am just going to, I'm not going to layer them up. These are great layered up. I just need to decide whether I want to use any twine. But I think we'll just put some gems on. What do you think? I'm going to colour over those like that, and like that. Yep. Stick those down. Cover that one. I didn't really like that. Try and make sure that they're straight. I must dig out and start using. I've got some new tape roller which I've not even tried yet. I've got two tall ones and two it's quite nice to do them differently, isn't it? I wonder how everybody else is doing with their Christmas cards. I've started usually, because I've been doing classes the last couple of years, I've started making Christmas cards in August, and I was gonna start when we went into lockdown and just never did it. But I've been attending some, rather than having my own classes, I've been attending classes that another lovely demonstrator has been putting on, and I've really enjoyed it. So I've got a little stash. So those are the bases, and we need to, what did I do with the insides? There we are. So we've got two that way and two that way. We are going to use, let's make sure that that's upside, right side up. That's a lovely sentiment, isn't it? In the coldest moments of the year, my heart is warm because you're near. may have to be a virtual mirror, but and then we are going to just do a little flurry in the corners. Didn't re-ink it there. There we go. And so let's put these in. Put these in the cards. Don't you love it? I hadn't shut the door because the puppy's asleep and my husband's come down and asked me a question. If I do what he asks, then I'll get a cup of tea. What a lucky girl I am. There we go. I don't think he's realised that I'm filming. Still. There we go, and I am going to just use some of these blue adhesive backed gems, which I think are really lovely, and I'm going to use these sort of darker ones because they're a bit moody. What are we going to do? We're going to do that, and I'm going to use a large one in that corner there. Perfect. We'll do the same, so we've got another one there. And this one, I think I'm going to use one of the lighter ones. There we go. So there are the 4 cards, and I'm just going to add a little bit of sparkle with my Wink of Stella brush. I forgot to do this before I stuck them on, but that doesn't matter. And you just tap very lightly. This is a fairly new brush, and it just gives a little bit of sparkle, which I think is a nice little touch. So I hope you liked my video. Please give me the thumbs up if you did, and I will see you again really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.